Okay, we was having trouble with this thing. It would run, it would suck and would fill up the tank, but the tank wouldn't empty out with this sump pump that's in there. So I don't know if the float is kind of screwing up a little bit. I've been working it, and this thing here cuts off the suction. It's got a float in it that goes up and down out these holes, blocks off the holes. If it gets too much water in there, it blocks off the suction. And if it gets way full, I guess it blocks it off, and it tries to suck, and it trips the fuse. So maybe this vacuum isn't set right on here. Relief valve. So right now I'm pumping water, and it seems to be running. The pump runs. The float has to come all the way to the top before it pumps it down. So I don't know. And you see that you can get the drum out of there with the sucker pump on there. All right. In case you got to do this more times, it'd be a real bitch to get that pump out of there, because there's no, this is all hard piped in there. Should have a union or something if it was possible. Okay, we'll see what happens with this. All right. Okay, now here it is. It's all cleaned up as much as I could do without doing any of this rust that's on the barrel. It seems to work every time that I pull the float up. Now, I don't know if it was stuck before or what. So I put it back together, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll work. Alright. How this thing works is the vacuum pumps is this top. There's a union that goes on here, and that sucks up through this, and there's a block off like a float in there that goes up, rides up and down with the water to block off the holes when there's water down in there, so it don't get water sucking up into the vacuum pump. Water's not supposed to really go through the pump. So then it goes, it gets, when the vacuum is being sucked up in the pump, it pulls it in this pipe, which is the inside, which is hooked to the sprinklers. It sucks in there, so the water's coming in, and the water just falls down in the bottom. Only like air goes up through the vacuum. The water's in the bottom, and then when it comes up, works that float and empties the tank out, and then it shuts off again, and keeps repeating that. It's supposed to, anyway. Alright. Okay. Let's see if it works. Okay, now put it back together. Put a little valve down there. It's working now. But I think I found out what originally happened to it. When the sump pump was coming on, it added amperage to the circuit, and that's why the breaker was tripping out. Also because where I had it plugged into is over there, and it's a long ways to the panel, plus that extension cord was in line, plus this one was in line, and as soon as this sump pump come on to empty the tank out, she would trip because let me turn it on and we'll see. The amperage is 13. Drop this in there, start sucking. When the sump pump comes on, you'll see. There, went up, so the sump pump's pumping. See it? Take this back out. So she's not sucking. Still at 18, but as soon as the pump goes off, it went back down. So that's what happened. I've got to remember that in case it screws up again. I'll put this on YouTube or something. All right. That's it. What I forgot to say, well, I moved to a different circuit. Okay. That's probably not as much on it. So she didn't trip the breaker. The circuit that I originally had it on also has some other junk on that circuit, lights and stuff. Over there. Alright? That's it. What I forgot to say, well, I moved to a different circuit. Okay? That's probably not as much on it. So she didn't trip the breaker. The circuit that I originally had it on also has some other junk on that circuit, lights and stuff. Over there. Alright? That's it.